Hello, it's Chef Marvin here. Hello, it's Chef Marvin. Hello, it's Chef Marvin here. Hello, Chef Marvin here with Spice Mon. How you doing? Welcome to the kitchen once again. Tonight we're celebrating our first spice. Let me tell you all about it.
It's your birthday, girl, and you know you get your own lemon butter. Pour that drink in the cup.
Sweet orange seasoning. Let me tell you a little inside of it. Is some Mexican chili peppers, brown sugar, kosher salt, garlic, onion, and just that Spice Mon, all in a jam. So you definitely can get this for yourself. The link will be down below, so you can just check it out and order something for your friends, family, or even a lot for yourself. Just stockpile COVID-19, you're gonna need it. So tonight we're gonna pair one of the things that it goes well with, which is seafood. It also goes well with chicken, poultry, meat, pork. You can make a marinade, you can make a dressing out of this. I'll show you how to do it. We'll have all that down in the description as well. You can DM and ask me any questions you might want to ask. Can it go with? But it's an awesome seasoning, a lot of sweetness, a lot of pepper, and a lot of flavor. Because we're all about the spice, man. So tonight we're gonna work with a Lobster Thermador version. Most people use cognac. Tonight we're gonna use a little red wine. We're gonna wine it up. We're also gonna do a sweet potato, Idaho potato gratin, and some greens. You gotta have your greens. We're gonna have some broccolini tonight. So one of the things that I like to do with my spices is to dehydrate things. I love it because there's so much that we use, like onion and garlic in the kitchen. And one of the staples that we go by is nothing goes to waste. So a dehydrator is just like heaven sent, let me tell you. You can just do so much with it. So we definitely dehydrated the peppers, be able to crush them, and also dehydrated the zest from the oranges. I used 4 different types of oranges just for this recipe. So I really went above and beyond to really try to create something that is not on the market and tastes really good. What do you mean? It's Spice Month. We about the spices, baby. Hey! So, as we continue, right now we got a lot of stuff going on right now, so I got to get back to it, and I'm going to show you how it all came together.
So as we start out with our ingredients, definitely start out with our butter, our Varti dill, our aged cheddar, our red wine, and of course, our newest addition to Spice Mon, the sweet orange seasoning. We have our Idaho potato, our sweet potato. We have some eggs, whipping cream, garlic, and of course, extra virgin olive oil, shallots, and broccolini. So as we get started with the heavy cream, we're gonna pour it in a pan and reduce it down over a low heat to a little under half. Give it some nice thick consistency for our potato gratin. We're gonna slice our sweet potato and our potato Idaho to nice, thin, even, consistent slices, so that way we get a nice, even cook and a quick one too. It's often recommended to stir the heavy whipping cream as it's coming down because it does froth up a bit. Gonna chop up some garlic for one part of our recipe here, and as we do this, we want to make sure we just get a nice, even chop. That's all we're looking for. The cheeses we're going to go ahead and grate down, so that way we can go ahead and spread out the love throughout that gratin potato that we're going to make today. Each of these cheeses evenly, about a half a pound per. And for this order, we're only doing about 1 potato each. We're going to add about 2 eggs, cracked raw. And then we're just going to slightly break them up a little bit, not too much, but we just want to get a nice little mix because we're about to add in that reduced, warm, heavy cream. And as we do so, we're going to stir it all together to make sure it's a nice binding agent for our gratin potato. Kind of want to just swivel around, pull out just a little bit just to see where we're at to make sure it's a nice, smooth consistency and we got everything mixed up together good. As we begin this whole gratin excursion, We're pulling out a glass baking dish for this one. We're going to add a little butter. Just spread around just to kind of allow for a nice quick release once this whole dish is done. We're going to layer in potatoes, some of the liquid mixture of heavy cream and eggs, cheese, and we're going to just keep going on till we get a nice build all the way to the top. Oh yeah. Maybe a little sweet potato in the middle, just to give a little flair at the end. And of course, in between each layer, adding that new wonderful seasoning, the sweet orange seasoning. Let's get it going. We're going to cook it at 400 degrees for at least 40 minutes. And the stars of the show, these 1 1/4 pound lobsters. Now, that is our end result. Wow, I can't wait to eat. Now we're going to season some water for our lobster halves, because we're going to go ahead and cook the claws. Wow. And if you look closely, I tell you, these are fighters. They just don't want to go away. But they're going for a good cause. So what we do with the lobsters is we basically cut them in half, take out the tail meat, clean out the guts, chop it up, put it back in on one side. So the other side is what you see inside the pan here, cooking with the claws. And we're just going to take all that loose meat from that and the claws, and I'm going to add it to our nice sauce that we're going to use, red wine based, that we're about to begin now. So of course we're going to add in our garlic and our shallots. I'm just going to simmer down some nice extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to shake it up a little bit because we don't want it to stick to the pan. I don't want to start with too much of a high heat. A nice medium high is good to go. Now we have our 2 half lobsters passed, ready with all the lobster tail meat. And now we got a nice simmer on our garlic and shallots. And we're going to deglaze that pan with some red wine. Now as that red wine reduces down, we're going to add in 2 pounds of butter. Turn our heat down to low for about 10 seconds as we start to emulsify with this butter and create our sauce that we're going to pour over those 2 lobsters before putting in a 500-degree oven. At this point, once I get halfway of melting the butter, I'm going to turn my heat off and just let that residual heat just relax the rest of that butter. I'm going to add in some fresh thyme in here and just give it a swirl around, as well as a couple sprigs of thyme right on top of the lobster, right before I put them in the oven. And then just give it a little touch of some of that wonderful red wine butter that we just created. Now we're going to crack the rest of these shells that we steamed into the lobster with the water, and we're going to add it into our nice sauce. Now, of course, before putting in the oven, everything that is going on this recipe is going to get the love of that sweet orange seasoning. First one of its kind, and many more to come. So we're going to set that in the oven, again at 500 degrees. It won't take long, almost less than 10 minutes, but that's when it's ready. Now we're moving right along into the best part of it all, the greens, I like to call it. And today's choice, of course, is going to be broccolini. Again, using extra virgin olive oil. We like to get a nice hot saute pan because we want to get some char on our broccolini, because that's really where all the flavors are. All the flavors in the char. So we're also going to add in, of course, some more sweet orange seasoning, the first of its kind. That's right, make sure you get your, as soon as you can, because when it runs out, it runs out. But you know what? We'll always have room to make more for you. But definitely just get it as soon as you can. We're going to add our shallots and garlic in there, give it some flavor. And this is kind of what it's going to look like at the end when it comes out of the oven.
Well, there you have it. Another meal well done. I just want to thank you, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And shout out to Riverstone for this J-Lore, awesome Chardonnay that pairs well with seafood. And we're going to enjoy that with our meal tonight. So again, don't forget, Make sure you get one of my spices. My first one's available, sweet orange seasoning. Many more to come. And you'll have plenty in the comments down below to link me and get in touch with me. And if you want to see me in person, I'm here in Atlanta at STK Steakhouse. So if you stop by or you're having dinner that night, just ask for Chef Marvin. I'll buy a drink on me. I'll even sing you happy birthday. Have a good one.